In 1760, in the city of Frankfurt, Jewish residents were locked inside a single narrow street every night. The gates closed at sunset. The street was called the Judengasse, and it was one of the most overcrowded places in Europe. In that street, in a cramped house shared with another family, lived a young orphan who sorted old coins for a living. His name was Meyer Amschel Rothschild. Within one lifetime, his lifetime, that coin sorter built the foundation of the most powerful banking dynasty in human history. His 5 sons would control the finances of European empires. His family name would become a synonym for wealth itself. Here is what nobody tells you about old money. Every single dynasty, the Rothschilds, the Medici, the Rockefellers, the Morgans, every one of them started with one broke generation. One person with nothing, locked out of every system, who did something different. And when you study them side by side, the strange thing is, they all did the same 5 things. This video is not about them. It's about what the first generation actually does, because somebody in every dynasty had to be generation 1. And right now, that might be you. Principle 1. They mastered one thing completely, before touching anything else. Mayer Rothschild didn't dabble. He became the single best rare coin expert in Frankfurt. Princes and collectors came to him specifically, because nobody knew coins better. That expertise opened the door to royal courts. The courts opened the door to banking. John D. Rockefeller didn't chase 10 businesses. He became obsessed with one question: how to refine oil cheaper than any human alive. He counted drops of solder on barrel lids. He squeezed pennies out of every process. By the time competitors noticed, his cost advantage was unbeatable. The Medici started as wool merchants, then mastered one craft: moving money across borders safely. That single skill became the foundation of European banking. Notice the pattern. The first generation never starts diversified. Diversification is what wealth does to protect itself later. Creation requires the opposite: total concentration on one skill until you're undeniable. The first generation doesn't find an opportunity. It becomes one. Mastery is the entry ticket. But mastery alone makes you a well-paid worker, not a dynasty. The second principle is where the actual separation happens. And it's the one that sounds the most brutal today. Principle 2. They saved at rates that looked insane to everyone around them. Andrew Carnegie started as a bobbin boy in a cotton factory, earning $1.20 a week. As his income grew, his lifestyle didn't. He invested while living like the boy from the factory. Rockefeller, even as his refinery profits exploded, lived in modest houses and recorded every personal expense in his ledger. His neighbors had no idea how rich he was becoming. Meyer Rothschild kept his family in the same cramped house in the Judengasse for decades, while quietly accumulating the capital that would launch 5 sons into 5 countries. The first generation lives one level below its income, not slightly below, dramatically below, 50%, sometimes more. Here's the brutal math nobody wants to hear. Income doesn't create wealth. The gap between income and lifestyle creates wealth. A person earning modestly who keeps half builds capital. A person earning a fortune who spends a fortune builds nothing. Every dynasty was funded by one generation's refusal to look rich. Principle 3. Every dollar went back in. When Rockefeller's refinery made profit, he didn't take it home. He bought the next refinery. Then the railroad's favor. Then the pipelines. Profit became capacity. Capacity became more profit. He ran that loop for 30 years without breaking it. The Medici took banking profits and opened branches: Rome, Venice, Geneva, London. Each branch funded the next. Rothschild's coin profits became trade financing. Trade profits became government lending. Each level funded the level above it. The first generation treats money as seed, never as harvest. Consumption is the leak that sinks most people. Every dollar spent on lifestyle is a worker pulled out of the field. The dynasties understood compounding before the word existed. Money that returns to work multiplies. Money that goes to comfort dies. Master one thing, Save savagely. Reinvest everything. 3 principles. And honestly, a disciplined person could guess them. But principles 4 and 5 are the ones that separate a successful person from a dynasty founder. Because they're not about money at all. And the 5th one is the single rarest behavior in finance. Principle 4. They built systems that worked without them. This is the line most successful people never cross. A brilliant doctor earns until the day they stop seeing patients. A brilliant craftsman earns until their hands give out. Their income is rented, paid only while they personally show up. Mayor Rothschild built something different. He trained his 5 sons in the business and sent them to 5 cities: Frankfurt, London, Paris, Vienna, Naples. The system ran in 5 countries simultaneously, whether Meyer was awake, asleep, or eventually gone. The Medici bank had branch managers, profit-sharing contracts, written procedures. The founder's genius was encoded into the structure, so the structure could outlive the founder. Rockefeller built Standard Oil into an organization so systematized that it kept growing for decades after he stopped managing it day to day. Ask one question about everything you build. Does this still work if I disappear for a year? If the answer is no, you have a job, not an asset. The first generation builds machines. Principle 5. They plan their own death from the beginning. This sounds dark. It's actually the entire secret. Mayor Rothschild wrote a will that did more than divide money. It locked in the system. The business stayed unified. The sons stayed partners. Family decisions followed defined rules. He even planned how future generations would marry and inherit to keep capital from scattering. He wasn't managing a fortune. He was designing something built to function after his death, which is the actual definition of a dynasty. Compare that to the typical successful person who avoids thinking about death entirely. No structure, no training, no transfer plan. Their wealth hits the next generation like an unguided missile. 3 generations later, nothing is left. The first generation of every dynasty made one psychological leap almost nobody makes. They stopped building for their own lifetime. The fortune wasn't the goal. The fortune was the engine. And the engine was built to run for centuries. 5 principles. Master one thing until you're undeniable. Live dramatically below your income. Reinvest until the loop compounds. Build machines instead of jobs. And design everything to outlive you. Now here's the part that should change how you see this whole channel. The Rothschilds, the Medici, the Rockefellers. None of them descended from kings. A locked ghetto street. A wool shop. A potato farm. The starting positions were worse than almost anyone watching this video right now. The difference was never the starting capital. It was that one person decided to run these 5 principles for one lifetime and accepted that the full payoff would land on people not yet born. Every dynasty in history is just generation 1, plus time. The coin sorter from the locked street built the greatest banking empire on earth. He started with less than you have today. Generation 1 is not a circumstance. It's a decision. In 1760, in the city of Frankfurt, Jewish residents were locked inside a single narrow street every night. The gates closed at sunset. The street was called the Judengasse, and it was one of the most overcrowded places in Europe. In that street, in a cramped house shared with another family, lived a young orphan who sorted old coins for a living. His name was